Rich Churilla, you've just seen me try to hit a few golf balls, and of course I'm a high handicap golfer, and there must be something that we all have in common, such as hitting from the top. Would you go over this for us, please?
Yes, Jennings. First of all, let me start with the grip and work up through a golf swing, and then I'll get back to your original problem.
All right, Rich, go right ahead.
First of all, this time of the year, I would like to mention to all of you to right here in the middle of our season, to get your golf professional, if you can, to give you a check over. Just like you go to a doctor for an annual checkup, see if you can get to your golf professional for a checkup right here in the middle of the season. There may be some small thing that he could catch you doing before it gets into a big problem. The very first thing that I look for when I'm teaching is to make sure that the grip is made properly on a golf club. And the way to do this is that I always pick out an imaginary target. Now I'm here on my driving range and I've got some flags out there, so I'll just pick out an imaginary target and I put my feet together and set the golf club out at right angles from my body, just like this, with my left hand hanging down, or my left arm hanging down just naturally. The left thumb goes down the right center of the shaft. I stand in this position and reach under and put my right hand in this position, and it also is under the shaft, just like this. Now I use the overlap grip, and depending on the length of the fingers, if you have long fingers, use the overlap. If you have short fingers, use the interlocking. Or I'm teaching a lot of my beginners to use this, what we call the 8-finger grip. Once you have this grip, take it to your golf ball with a good rigid left arm. Now this is the one thing in golf that we have that we can use as a cheater, if that's the right word to use, because this is the one measuring stick in golf we have, from the left shoulder to the left wrist. If we can keep this rigid, this will keep us away from the golf ball no matter what length of club we have. Then it's a matter of putting our feet together again and lining up with our target, because our grip never changes. The club is at right angle with the target. We pace ourselves off, left foot toward the target, right foot a shoulder's width to the right, and setting our knees in a sitting position. We're ready to go. I shift a little bit of weight to my left side, and this reminds me to move to my left side. And the first move in golf is to take from the club head to the left shoulder, and from the left shoulder to the left ankle, all back in one piece inside. At the top of my swing, I try to tell myself that I have to return the golf club the same way as I did when I took it back. The only thing is that the lower part of my body is going to start the chain reaction to move into this position. It throws the golf club directly behind the golf ball, and as I move to my left side, the club head squares up the golf ball, keeping my chin behind the golf ball, and follow through. And I try to finish on the outside of my left foot.
Very good, Rich Churilla. Very good instruction indeed. Now, we were talking about hitting from the top, that is, using too much hands too early in the swing. Would you demonstrate that?
Right. Jennings, this problem is like you said, it's very common in golfers, especially weekend golfers. And it generally happens on the first tee when some fellows are standing around, everybody's watching, and you really have some kinks in. And I always recommend my people to hit some golf balls, a small bucket of balls before they go out and play, and get loosened up. But a lot of times they'll go out the first 3 or 4 holes and they'll just roll the ball along the ground. And their playing partners keep saying, "Oh, it's too bad you kept looking up." Well, this isn't a problem at all. I would say that about 95% of the time that you top a golf ball, it's because you make this movement from the outside, or you swing the golf club from the top, as you mentioned. How it is done is this way. When you get the golf club here at the top of your swing, if you do not move to the left side with the lower part of your body, you throw the golf club with your hands and with the right shoulder to the outside of the plane. And as you move into the golf ball, just as I'm doing here, you can see that as the golf club picks up its speed, you move right over top of it. As you can see, my right shoulder and my right wrist and everything is going right over top, and it could cause me to hit right on top of the golf ball and roll it. If I happen to move my hands just a little bit too quickly and then I start this move, I could hit behind the golf ball, and this is how we get what we call a fat shot in golf.
Okay, Rich, very good indeed. It certainly has been very enjoyable and some very fine instruction. I hope all the golfers in our audience will pay heed, and I know that I will. And it's a pleasure talking to you here at the Wheeling Country Club.
Thank you, Jennings.